Yeah, I am having a little bit of trouble with it. Well, let me rephrase that. If I'm on the straight freeway and I have all the room I want, downshifting is not a problem.
Yeah, but
But it's the quick downshifting that I'm trying to get a handle on.
hey, I've been going through that on my bike.
Yeah.
Downshift, I'm going, and then some inconsiderate asshole gets in front of me like out of nowhere, and I gotta slow down, and oh shit, I gotta downshift, get
Yep.
into the right gear. It blows. No man,
They keep saying that I'm just going to learn it, but like eventually,
believe it or not, you learn by doing it.
okay.
It's one of those things that, yeah. I had a very cool instructor. I remember he would like, for me, I remember he's like, you got to catch the rhythm, like, and I can't remember, but he would make like a stupid little beat sound when he was like, you got to like gas, clutch, and I remember I was like, oh, okay. The little,
And then
little cadence.
they got us doing that, double clutching.
Yes, double clutching because it saves fuel. It comes in handy because most of the trucks out there are 13 speeds now because it saves on fuel.
Right.
And
Well, I've been hearing about like 80% of the trucks out there now are starting to be automatic.
yeah, I heard that too. I was like, motherfuckers.
I'm learning this shit for what?
Well, no, see, it's good to learn. It's good to know. I mean, but yeah, double clutching because it's easier on the gears, on the transmission, life of the engine. I remember that was a pain. We double clutching, downshifting. Wow, I mean, it's an awesome experience. I did it for a short while because I couldn't be away from my kids. When I was doing it, my oldest, which is now 31, she was still in junior high.
Right.
And Dagard was still, yeah. So for me, being away from my family, cause that sucked because they'd push me. I was doing 48 states, and I would be gone for 30 days, come back home for 2 or 3 days, then out there for another 30 days, and it took forever to get back home. When I was in my training stages with the trainer. Because I not to toot my own horn, but I picked up the driving thing. Come on, my dad, may he rest in peace. He allowed the 7-year-old to drive, so I've been behind the wheel for a while. So driving all that shit, that I was all into that. So when I was in the training stages, we were driving like a team.
Okay.
So we were going all over the fucking place, and I got used to the fact that every week I was home. Because we were just cruising. I got to see practically. I haven't been to Montana. I haven't driven through Montana. Because I mean, technically, I can't say I've driven through just all the other states except Montana. I mean, like that dude. He was like because the trainees, they don't pay you shit, but he was making bank. So wherever we stopped, he was like, "Whatever you want to eat, dude." He was like. It's
on me.
It's on me. Whatever you want. I was like, oh damn, this is cool. And when my training was over and they gave me my own truck, he's like, damn, I'm gonna miss you. It's like shit. I think back then, we're talking 2004, 2005. He was like, since I've had you as a trainee, he goes, my smallest check has been $1,200, and that was a week.
Nice.
Yeah, because we like I said, I picked it up. I was the first day. I was already driving more than I was supposed to, and he goes, you know what? I didn't realize that you were only supposed to drive for like 3 hours today, but the fact that it looks like you know what you're doing. He goes, I totally spaced out. I was like, yeah, whatever. You're using me as a mile mule. That was my first thought. But then another thing is like you're supposed to drive a couple weeks before they let you loose on the big city.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's like day 2, and we're in the LA area, and I'm driving around there, and he's like, He was like, "You're awful comfortable over here." I'm like, "I'm home." I'm like,
I know these, but this is where I'm from.
I'm like, "Hey, I'm home." I'm like, yeah, being in the truck was a little different, but yeah, it's crazy. So hey, man, that's pretty cool.
I've only been doing it for like, I don't know, like I said, I had one full week, and it was the first week, and the first day we were in the classroom the whole day. The rest of the 4 days we were out in the trucks. Mm-hmm. And then the second week we only had 2 days because of Thanksgiving.
You know, the cool thing about what you're doing is you're doing it at night, which means they're teaching you how to back up in the dark.
Yep, that's exactly what we're doing.
And which is like, when I went through my training, it was during the day, and that backing up at night is a different animal.
It's 100% different.
Yep.
And I'm not very good at backing up right now. Like the other night, I was in the yard because one night you're out on the road, and the other, like half the class is out on the road, the other half is on the yard practicing backing up.
Yeah.
And so the other night I was on the yard, and the first time I backed into a 90-degree angle, backed up a 90-degree angle, I had a 23-foot truck, and I backed it in great, flawless, or at least flawless enough for as new to it as I am. And then I had to go over to a 45-degree angle, and then I did that flawless. And then the other guy in the truck hopped in, and he started doing those two. And then we took a break, and we come back, and everything I had, I lost. I lost all my skill somewhere along that break.
Oh wow! And you guys are using the short trailers? No, not the 53 footers.
No, we have 23 footers, 43 footers, 53 footers, and tanker, and a low boy. And we're using all of those. And
that's cool.
For the CDL test, you have to do your pre-trip, which is like, I don't know, 89 things you have to name off.
It's actually 7. And then they used to break it down into 7 steps. I can't remember them right now off the top of my head, but it's like, but the pre-trip, yeah. And
then we have the lab test inside the vehicle, testing the brakes and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we have the driving and the backup. Now, just for the CDL, you have to back up the 53-footer at a 90-degree angle, and then do your drive and your skills test and your pre-trip, all right?
Yeah.
But now in order to graduate the program, you have to do the 90 and the 45 in the 23, 43, 53, and tanker. So
that sounds good. That's more, like I said, I was trained by the company, so they just trained us on 53 footers. I mean, they figured if you learn on the 53 footers, you could back up anything. Or at least that was the reasoning. But really, they needed people badly,
right?
So they were just like,
I'm gonna disagree with that. I think the 23-foot truck was harder to back up than the 53-foot.
Really?
Yeah, those smaller trailers get away from you so fucking fast.
Well, yeah, you have to like, oh gosh,
you got to be on your shit in order to back those up.
The slightest move of the steering wheel, and boom, that trailer's going.
And you're lost. You're lost, and you're trying to play catch up.
Yep. Wow, I remember those days, man. You haven't jackknifed the truck, have you?
Nope.
We had this guy, his name was Jerry, and funny enough, he was notorious for that. And we all knew him as Jackknife Jerry. He was a cool guy and everything, but for some reason, every time he was trying to back up, he'd end up in a jackknife position with the truck. So, Jackknife Jerry.
I haven't done that. That's been one of my biggest fears. Is like I don't want to do that, and so
they're like, "Oh, there goes Jackknife Jerry again." We're like, "Okay." Funny enough, he was the first one to pass the CDL test over at the MVD.
Nice.
We were all like, "What? Jackknife Jerry? Yeah, what? First try. Jackknife Jerry passed it." Damn.
Well, that's one thing with the school that I'm going to. It's part of the community college here,
Mm-hmm.
and the instructors, a couple of the instructors that teach us are also the licensed third-party
MVD.
CDL testers.
You know that probably takes a little bit more pressure off. At the time we were being trained by the company, the instructors were truck drivers. The actual test was done at the MVD. So the fact that you have the clipboard guy from the MVD hopping on your truck, yeah, I mean, I passed it first attempt too. But the thing is that it does mess with you.
It messes with your mind.
I figure the way you're doing it is probably a little bit more relaxing. So I mean, a lot, and they I don't know, since it's a school, they're teaching you all with all the different. Are you guys doing double trailers too?
No, we don't. We're not doing doubles. They said that. They said doubles is just a little too much for student drivers to take on right now.
Well, they taught us how to hook them up, and but yeah, that was crazy. They wanted us to have that endorsement. The hazmat endorsement was a requirement. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like, and then like I said, I eventually got.
I do have the tanker endorsement already.
Nice.
That was a requirement for the class.
Yeah. I never got the tanker endorsement. I just had my CDL, the hazard, the hazmat, and I can't even remember what the other ones were. But I did not have passenger endorsement, which when I started working at that place that shall not be named, but where I met you,
right?
Where I met you, I remember they had this old beat up bus, and the guy's like, "You got a CDL? Why don't you get your passenger endorsement?" I'm like, "No, thank you. I'm done."
I don't know. I've actually thought about getting it, and then,
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe drive buses instead of trucks.
In retrospect, I mean, yeah, maybe I could have done like one of my side gigs could have been working for the bus drive, But
right.
I don't know. I don't know. According to my record, the CDL is still current. Just the DOT physical that I allowed to expire.
Oh shit.
So I don't know. I don't know if I went back, if I would have to take the entire test, or I just got to present the DOT physical.
Probably just the physical, because you guys out there keep your licenses for fucking ever.
Yeah, that was funny. I remember being out on the East Coast, and I pulled into a scale and the weigh station, and I'm showing my paperwork to the guy, and he thought I was joking when I handed him my license because it expired like 2039. He's like, seriously? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I want to see your license. I'm like, your real license? I'm like, this is my real license. Like, Arizona does
really?
that. Yeah, like Arizona does that. I'm like, I guess he wasn't aware of that. I'm like, in order to...
I've had a couple of places do that out here when I still have my Arizona license. Tell me, like, we can't accept this. There's no way that it expires in, like, I don't know, 2040 or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly when it expires.
Yep. That was the way Arizona got more money out of us back in late 90s. And then every 12 years you had to go renew your picture. That was another $12 you had to. I think they charged us $25 originally. Because before it was like every 4 years you had to renew your license, and it was like $7.
Okay.
$7 to $8 to renew your license. Then they came out with that whole one-time $25 fee, and it doesn't expire till you're 60.
Like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we thought until like, oh, by the way, every 12 years you need to update your picture. Another $12. Oh.
Like, okay.
Well, what do? You got to drive, right? Because
yeah, you can't walk, especially from your house.
Yeah, like I said, yeah. Oh man, So hey, that's pretty cool, man. We've been talking about fucking truck driving. That's crazy. What are we gonna call this? The Rona on Wheels episode?